what I think about it. I'm gonna love Disgaea 6, but with the way games have been releasing recently,
Yeah.
who the fuck knows?
Yep.
Oh, God, this computer.
Deep breath. Oh, fuck, dude. The Medium comes out this week?
Bloober.
Fuck. I guess it's another Game Pass game I'm installing to my already full fucking hard drive.
Let me make sure this went live.
This is how you can tell a bunch of weebs are on this fucking show, is because the titles of the games that get put on those releases lists.
I try and put everything out there.
Sure. And there's a reason why Atelier Razia 2, Lost Legends, and The Secret Fairy got top billing. Don't say it's alphabetical.
Hey, it's alphabetical. Okay.
Hey, some of us need blue sky games where they don't feel depressed all the time.
That's right.
I do too. Well, fuck me.
Can I interest you in Atelier Ryza?
There's a lot of games that I look at. I'm like, that title is stupid. I am probably gonna love this game.
And let's face it, JRPGs aren't exactly the fucking blue sky of blue skies.
No, usually no.
Every single one of them, you'd kill God.
Yeah. Most of the time, God is pretty evil, though.
In one of them, God is your dad.
In a lot of them, God is your dad. It's you, Dad? You've been the chosen all along? Meow, 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 meow.
And I'm a fucking ghost son of yours who's just a spirit on this planet to help the summoner through his ship. Like, Final Fantasy IX is the dumbest fucking game. I'm just saying.
That was 10.
10, whatever. Yeah, 9 was the one with Zidane, dude with a lion tail.
Yeah.
9 is certainly
you're not that far off from what you stated. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man. Okay. You guys ready to start?
Oh, yeah.
Get my notebook here. There we go. Stretch out, get the Reptar in chat. Check all the boxes.
Where's my table flipping one?
I think you're muted, Moon.
Because I was crunching on a toffee crisp.
Can't fault you for that.
She's a candy bar from England.
Everyone ready?
Yours? No.
Yep.
All right.
La, 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 la.
Starting in 3.
How do we distract Boston by talking
1.
while he's doing the countdown?
Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston. Joining me as always is Moonpeer.
Are you really the host? The host of what? The host of Aliens? The host of a problematic mind?
You don't want to know what resides in this husk that I live in.
Oh, well,
Hopefully this is nobody's first episode.
This mortal coil of unknowns.
Yeah. And the Nymph.
Hello.
Patreon.com/E1M1. The ones are numbers. Get all the behind-the-scenes, early access, uncensored, exclusive episodes delivered to you every week. Outcast this week. You want to get a little bit of a peek behind a little impromptu production meeting. You can get on that for just $2 a month. The $5 a month tier is the recommended one. That gets you everything. Anything above and beyond that is greatly appreciated, but not required. You get all of that audio every week, and you help me pay for the show every single week, which is a huge weight off my shoulders because all this stuff is super expensive. God, it's just, why does everything cost money?
You can't do any jobs because you've got a child to rear.
Yeah, God, this pandemic is just the worst. Patreon.com/E1M1. Moon, what have you been playing this past week?
Well, number 1, Diddley Squat. But number 2, actually, 2 games to talk about. I'll get to them in 1 second. I would like to say, any patrons who are listening, number 1, thank you, especially during hell yeah, 2020, 2021, 2022, and let's just suggest 2023 just to be safe. If you do happen to listen to the pre-show production meeting, feel free to tweet at Boston and let him know what you think the next in a redacted of redacted should be.
Yes. You can say the season of critical misses we were talking about. There's sort of two or three large options. I'd be curious to hear what you have to say.
I know, for example, what friend of the show Mackie would vote for.
Sure.
I know what Chuck would vote for. I know what my partner would vote for. I'm curious of what the community at large would vote for.
Or you can hit me up in the Patreon Peeps exclusive channel on the Discord server.
Wow.
Wow. Hello.
Oh, I forgot about that because even though I have access, I never go in there.
Yeah.
I told you, I lurk. That's all I do.
That's okay. I'm not holding
You
it
just have
against you.
tickets to the VIP lounge. You just never go in.
That's right.
1,000%.
Yep.
To steal from Critical Misses Season 1, I'm more of a champagne problem.
That's right.
That's right. I did just quote Shaw. Get over it.
Yep.
Anyway, yes. So I played Carto. You reminded me about this because you literally physically cannot play this.
The vomitorium, unfortunately, that is Carto.
Whereas I have it installed and completely forgot I have it installed. The reason I do that is because I sort my games by game size, so I can play the biggest first and then forget about the little ones.
Right.
So I played some Carto. It turns out I had previously put 27 minutes into the game. Now I've put like 2 hours and 27 minutes into the game.
Okay.
Based on chapter achievements, I'm probably about halfway through the game.
That's not bad.
It remains a simple but fun puzzle exploration game. Is that how you... Puzzle exploration? I think that's how I describe
building puzzler?
Yeah.
Discovery simulator?
Yeah, who knows? I did get speed up boots though, which make you run faster, so that's good.
Nice.
Also, I don't know why I'm happy about that, because usually when I want to move somewhere, I just pick up the piece of map that I'm on and move it closer to my objective and then put it down.
Smart.
Fast travel, done the correct way.
That's right. That's a
just
cool game.
Literally pick up the map and move it.
Yeah.
It's not exactly I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's probably a Flash game that exists that's kind of similar or whatever, but
not anymore.
I was just about to say,
Ouch,
maybe not
my
anymore
heart.
for the Flash game now. But yeah, it's fine. The funny thing is I thought you were being over dramatic with your nausea. I thought it was just you being your tummy
a diaper
being
baby.
little...
Sure, you can say it.
Yes. And then I started to play it and I was like, oh no, 100% this would give him like motion sickness kind of thing.
It's just something about it. Like
everything is moving. Everything is moving all at once, but it's not big movements, it's little movements. Like the grass will blow one way, the trees will blow the other way, and it just constantly looks like it's moving all the time, and it's just like, okay, now I get it.
Yeah, and like the frame rate of the background is different than the character's frame rate. Like it is all set up for my brain to be like, nope, gotta go, get out of here.
Did you see Into the Spider-Verse?
Yeah.
Did that make you sick too?
No, that didn't bother me at all.
That's weird.
Brains are weird, man. I love that effect in Into the Spider-Verse where like
your brain is weirder than most, dude.
Well, I mean that's for sure.
I don't remember Into the Spider-Verse doing anything that would really cause... I mean, there is some camera flipping, but...
It's all different frame rates as well. Like, the background, I think, moves at, like, 20
that could be it.
frames.
It's like
the characters are, like, 24.
And sometimes there's, like, a fuzzy foreground, too. Like, yeah, it's a little weird. Yeah.
My partner got nauseous when we went to see it in the theaters. Like, I had to literally put it down and stop watching at some point, which...
Jeez.
Is not great. But no, Carto, it continues to be an absolutely acceptable, fine game.
Yeah.
It is one of those, hey, guess what? It's on Game Pass. You should probably play it kind of games. Because it's on Game Pass.
And it's short.
Essentially, already paid for it. And I've heard it's like 5 hours long. So I'm already halfway through it. I'm sure I'll probably beat it at some point soon. It's fine. It's fun. It's especially maybe if you have kids, it might be a good game for them.
Oh yeah.
But you know, it for me it has been a blue sky kind of game that I have been playing this week while I have been busy / mentally incapable of doing anything.
Right.
And the only other game I played was Donut County.
Yeah, Donut County.
Because that came to Game Pass this week too.
Yep.
And I think I'm about halfway through that as well.
It's very short.
I got further in it now than I did in the PlayStation version, which I also own. So in one sitting, I got further than I did in 2 sittings over there. I don't even know. I pulled some people through a hole. That's how far I got in the game.
Yeah.
I know that does not help at all.
Man, Donut County is such a great game, and like if there's one negative I can still offer about that game is it's a little too in love with its own writing. So like the writing is very good and it's very clever, but a lot of times it's like, yeah, I just want to get to like the Katamari thing. Like I wish there was like a little bit less dialogue here, or at least I'm playing this game again, so I wish I could skip this dialogue. I want to get to the thing. Like I just get out of my way.
Yeah, the Trashopedia is still gold.
Forgot that's what they called it. It's really good.
Like, it's literally gold. Every time I pick something new up, it's just gold. It's like a succulent is a cactus designed for children. Is a fantastic description. Like,
it's so good.
You know, a trash can, perfect, perfection. Need you say any more? It's just so well written. Like that. I mean, don't get me wrong. The general chat between the characters is a bit whatever, and it's very internet speak.
Yeah, which like either you're gonna love or hate.
Yes, but that Trashopedia is just every level. I don't care if I pick something new up. I'm checking it out because I want to read what he has to say about all of the things. Like, a trailer is an outdoor outhouse.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah, like I can't even remember half of them, but just certain times I would just open it up and be like, okay, that was genuinely hilarious, and it's just good to. It feels good to smile, you know. And
he says
not
through
enough
the tears.
of that. Yes,
it's so good to smile.
Through the cheers, through the cheers, through the tears, I should say. But no, it's been fun. I'm almost level 10. I'm sure I'll get my quadricopter at that point and figure out what's going on, and then the mystery will be solved.
I forgot that the big thing about that was like, get to level 10, you'll get a quadricopter. I was just like, okay, that's oddly specific, but okay.
I did just get the catapult upgrade, which allows you to fling things back out of the hole.
Yep.
Which is hilarious when you're flinging a frog up a tree to pull somebody down.
I love that game.
It's so dumb. Like,
and it's like the perfect Game Pass game too, where it's like, look, this thing's like 4 hours at best. You can kind of sit down on a Saturday afternoon, kind of knock it out, have a lot of fun, and kind of go back on your way.
Yeah, it reminds me of Goose Game and Carto, where it's just like, just play it, enjoy it, experience it.
Yeah, just a little
bit, and and then enjoy it. A kiln, a normal stove that you fill with mud.
Why not?
Great. The Trashopedia is hilarious. The Trashopedia is reason alone to play that game.
Yeah.
A garden shovel is a dirt spoon. I pulled open the Trashopedia because it's that fun.
I love Donut County so much.
The music is a little bit annoying in it. Like I said, the conversational writing is okay. a little bit too memey/internety, but it's Katamari Damacy with a hole.
Yeah.
So I will happily absorb all of the goodness in your house area into my hole, so I can then suck up a fire and then a corn and then make popcorn and then suck up 4 rabbits, and then all of a sudden hundreds of baby rabbits are born because lol.
Yep. I cannot wait until you see where the end of that game goes.
Do I even want to know?
It's wild.
Yeah, that's all I've been playing, and I will leave you with one final entry from the Trashopedia, which describes a picnic basket as a pretty common type of treasure chest. I'm just saying.
All right, Mimp, what do you have? What's your favorite Trashopedia entry?
I don't even remember most of them. I just know that they get stupid.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
2 games, you don't have to write them down. I was just going to bring up real quick. One with the Wii Fit. The Ring Fit.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking with Angela on Discord, and we found out that if you have the Switch Lite, you cannot use that on the Switch Lite. Which is
because you
really
can't pull off the Joy-Cons.
Yeah, but
Right.
it's odd because I can do it in TV mode or in handheld mode.
Right.
So you would have thought that, I don't know, I would have thought, but then we're talking about Nintendo, that somehow there would be a workaround where you could use 2 different Joy-Cons that aren't attached to it to be able to use it.
Just buy
Apparently that's
another
not the
Switch,
case.
forehead.
Yeah.
This is the same Nintendo who, for Animal Crossing, decided that if you open a menu, people cannot load into your game.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there's that. Played more Genshin Impact this week. Same old, same old.
Yep.
I got really, really far into Cold Steel 4 this week, to the point that I hit what felt like an hour-long cutscene. Like, I'm talking
the old Xenosaga.
Yeah. Where I had it on auto read. I was reading faster than that, so then I was skipping as I was reading, and then I accidentally skipped the entire thing by accident because I finger fumbled that. So then I had to look up a YouTube video, which finding that was a pain, because guess what? Not a whole lot of people stream cutscenes for JRPGs.
Yeah.
So I finally found that, and the hour marker on the YouTube video, when I got to the part that I accidentally skipped, still had 50 minutes left over in the video. So I was sitting there watching this video, not doing anything else, and then I started skipping in the video. So because I'm reading faster, and the biggest problem is that there's so many. The cast of characters has gotten so big now that I counted that there was 32 characters talking at once in this area.
Oh God.
And normally that's not an issue, but the problem is that because it's a JRPG, everyone has to get their 2 cents in, and it doesn't matter.
I'm with you. Let's do it. You got it, Chief. The power of friendship. It's like, oh my God.
There are several times where a group, because they basically cut the way this one cutscene that I'm thinking of, there's like 3 distinct groups that are talking, and they all have about 10 to 11 characters in each group.
Oh God.
And someone said something, and everyone, they do like this little camera cut where the camera looks at one group, everyone looks at the leader, everyone nods their head, and then it moves to the next one and they do the same thing, and then it moves to the next one and they do the same thing. It's like, we don't need this.
Right.
Like,
I get what they're going for.
Yeah, we know what they're gonna do. I don't need to see all 32 characters affirm that, yeah, no, this is the plan.
Right.
This is what we're doing.
You 100% need that.
No, it hurts my brain. So I got through all of that. Luckily, the game is picking up. I'm like way past the halfway point now. I'm starting to come up on the end, because now I have a time frame for when, because the game does dates, like Persona. So I have a time frame for when something is supposed to happen. And that seems like that's going to be the end of the game, or, you know, roughly around that time date. And I'm like 2 days out from that right now.
Oh, okay.
Granted, though, each day is probably about 8 to 15 hours of actual gameplay. So, and just a lot of people reaffirming that, yeah, power of friendship.
Yeah. Well, you got it, boss. We're gonna do it.
Yeah, and it's the same issue that I have with the other Trials games, where they're fun to play. It's just sometimes they get up their own butt about what's going on that I start skipping it. And it's just whatever. But either way, still a fun game. Story just needs to be edited a lot more.
Yeah.
The next game that I played, No Man's Sky. My son and I picked it up this past weekend. We were just messing around with the co-op stuff. We did a lot of the anomaly co-op missions or multiplayer missions. Yeah. We picked up one for picking or finding like 12 ancient fossils on a planet, which I knew was going to be a mistake. And it was absolutely confirmed when we landed on the planet, and I couldn't see the planet because it was in the middle of a radiation storm.
Great.
So great. So now we're on an extreme world looking for rare things that are buried under the ground to begin with. So
it's all going well.
Yeah, so that took my son and I about 2 hours to finish.
Yeah.
Then after that, we just stuck with like the pirate killing things, where it's like, hey, there's 3 space pirates or whatever, go out into space and kill them. And it always drops you into the system that they're in when you leave the anomaly. So all you have to do is scan the system, pirates come in, you do your dogfights, go back, collect your rewards.
Perfect.
So we did about 9 of those yesterday.
Yeah.
So that's cool. The space fighting is still, it doesn't compete with Elite. But
yeah, like it's fine. It's serviceable.
Yeah.
Nothing competes with Elite. Come on.
No, I know.
That's the game's tagline.
It made me want to play Elite again.
Just gotta wait. That update's coming. Just gotta wait.
I know. That got pushed back.
Part of my whole process at the moment, like mentally struggling with stuff, is, I think I might have mentioned it on last week's pre-show, is going through a bunch of captures on my PC because I don't want to focus on anything. I just want to kind of zone out. So many Elite Dangerous videos in there. I'm just like, Elite's really good. Really good.
Remember how cool Elite is?
Look at this sweet clip I've got of a Proton Star. Look at this other sweet clip of a Proton Star.
I'm still in between the center of the galaxy and I can't even remember what the other
Sagittarius, eh?
Yeah. No. I hit the center, but I'm trying to get to the other the furthest human colony on the other side of the galaxy.
I can't even remember.
Yeah, God, this is killing me. Either way, I'm heading that way still. But
have fun.
I know. Apparently, I didn't realize this. Apparently, it's the same distance to go from the center of the galaxy to get there as it would have been to go from the center of the galaxy back to Earth. Did not realize that when I thought that one.
Like 30 hours or something like that.
Colonia, that's what it's called. It was going to come to me. So, yeah, No Man's Sky, still fun. We didn't have any issues with bugging out or anything. So I didn't get picked up by some weird radiation tornado that killed me or whatever.
Thank goodness.
So that's all working out fine. I played more Cyberpunk, which they just released yesterday a 1.1 patch for. I haven't noticed any difference playing the new patch. I haven't run into as many issues as many other people have. My game has been fairly stable, besides the couple of things that I brought up in the past. But I still had like a random slowdown, like when I jumped over a wall. All of a sudden, my game slowed down. My weapon wasn't appearing in my hand, kind of thing.
Right.
But I mean, the game was still playing fairly stable, so I haven't noticed a difference yet.
I mean, it's worse, which is pretty great.
So that's always a positive. My save file still hasn't corrupted yet. I've got 2 versions of it, one on a thumb drive and one on the cloud. Yeah. Yep. So,
jeez.
Still fun. I'm still not doing any of the story. And like I said, it's not because I'm not looking forward to the story. I just really enjoy right now finding the gang locations and just walking in there and messing up their day.
Right.
It is my most favorite part is hacking into a camera and then hacking into all of their defenses, setting all of them to friendly to me, and then just watching everybody die.
Yeah. That's the stuff you want.
I know it's horrible to say out loud, but that just really makes my day.
Yeah.
And then my last game that I played, which is my secret game that I didn't tell anybody about.
Secret game.
Sniper Elite 4.
Oh.
Okay. Are you ready to go down the rabbit hole? The different sniper games, the Sniper Zombie Army games. There's like
and so that's kind of what started. So this was free forever ago on PlayStation Gold. A guy at work was talking about it because he has it for PC, and he was talking about how he's been playing. I think it was 2 and 3 a lot. And I'm like, oh, I've heard of them. I've read up on them. They never really seemed interesting to me. But if you like it, cool, whatever. And then I just happened to notice that I selected it so that I could download it later. Just never played it before. I'm like, oh, screw it. I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy it.
Nice.
Like a lot.
So you're ready to go down the rabbit hole, as you're saying.
I'm not going to probably buy the other games, but I really like 4.
Yeah.
So what exactly did Valhalla awaken in you with those slow-mo assassinations?
Dude, I actually forgot that this had that in that.
Until the
Mortal Kombat kills. Yeah, those get gruesome real fast.
Yeah.
So the first map it drops you in, you're basically on an island, and it's a pretty decent sized island. And you are given your main objective to do, a side objective, and then there's just like a bunch of collectibles in this area that you can grab while you're doing stuff, such as, destroy the Nazi eagle. There's 3 of them on this island.
Nice. Definitely want to do that.
Yeah, have at it. So I get onto the island. It walks me through this one small section that's like the tutorial of, hey, you can use your binoculars to find enemies, mark them, and then it will give you basically like a little bio of the enemy. I was like, all right, cool. So I did that, killed them. I managed to shoot like a pulley that had a bunch of cannons on it, which dropped on top of 2 guys. They were done.
Nice.
All right, cool. Move on. So I get into the island proper, and I'm up in this little tower, way away from everybody. And the game keeps telling you, and I'm playing on hard right now. The game keeps telling you, hey, the enemies can triangulate your shots, so don't just go shooting all willy-nilly.
Okay.
And there is a plane that is flying around the island, and if you time your shots right, you can mask your shot with the engine noise of the plane flying overhead.
Cool.
Yep.
So that nobody can hear you.
Nice.
Just so you know, you can also sabotage generators and things like that, so they start to splutter, and then they'll go put, 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 and they make a loud bang noise, so you can shoot at the same time as that.
That's cool.
So your equipment starting out, you have your sniper rifle, you have, like, I've got a Tommy gun, and then I've got this pistol. So you can use any 3 of those, and then you also have like stealth takedowns and stuff like that. So it's just your regular action game, kind of.
Yeah.
So I'm on this tower marking a bunch of people, and I didn't realize about the plane thing, because all of a sudden when noise happens, you get like this little radar looking thing that pops up in the center of your screen that indicates noise. I didn't realize that's what it's indicating. I thought it was telling me that there's a plane overhead and it can spot you. So every time I start to hear the plane, I'm hiding in brush, trying to not be noticed, not knowing that it doesn't matter. The plane's not there to notice you. It's just flying around after it did something. So I'm like, okay. I figured that out by accident when I went to go take a shot at somebody. The plane came by and it masked my noise. So then I got extra kill experience for marking them, ghosting, and having my sound masked.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so that's cool. So I figured that out. And so I went super stealthy with this game and spent an hour and a half on just the first map.
Nice.
Just creeping around, marking stuff, marking people. And you get these weird, dumb bios. And I wrote a couple of them down because the 5th guy that I marked talks about how, what is it? Regularly steals chocolate from his best friend, Wolfram Wazzer. Okay.
So for that, he deserves a bullet through the plate.
So right. I waited because it's like, well, hang on. So it's bringing up that he steals chocolate from his best friend. I wonder if his best friend happens to be on this island. So I killed everybody around this one guy, left him alone, and then I found his buddy later on. Where is he? When you get his bio, it says wonders who's been stealing his chocolate, has sworn to kill them. Like,
That's pretty
all right,
good.
cool. So I went back, killed his best friend, then went back and killed that guy.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, just something I did.
Yeah.
But you get all kinds of dumb bios like has set a town on fire, worries about his brother, you know. At age 16, joined Hitler's youth to impress a girl. She married his best friend.
Yep.
Yeah, all kinds of dumb, weird bio stuff for them. So, as I'm traipsing around this island, I also figured out that as long as you keep distance, the enemies can't find you. So,
Okay.
I found another tower that I ended up going to, and I could see that there were guys like 300 meters out. I was like, okay, I'm going to try and take them out. And, you know, just kind of testing, I guess, like the rules of this game to try to figure out, will they all just like merge on me or what?
Right.
No, they have a general idea of where you are and they will hide from you. But if they are so far out that they can't, you know, pin where you're at, they can't come after you because they don't know where you are.
You just get the MGS2. Nothing here.
Yeah. So this then devolved into me sniping people from 300 meters out, and I'm taking out like a whole portion of an island. I haven't even looked at the other side of the island yet.
So you gotta shoot all these Nazis in the giblets first.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's where this kill cam comes in, because if you empty your lungs, which is basically holding your breath, and you take these shots, if you do a critical shot, which is a one-hit kill, you get the Mortal Kombat X-ray of the bullet leaving your barrel. It follows the bullet all the way to the target. The target goes into X-ray, and then you just see violence.
Yeah.
And I'm talking like everything. I mean, there's some jacked up stuff that I've seen with this so far. So that's pretty hardcore. And it looks like you can shut all this off in the options too, if that really bothers you. To me, it doesn't bother me for this, because it is weirdly cartoony at the same time.
Yeah, like it's so over the top.
Yeah, there's been a couple shots, like Hail Mary shots, that I pulled off, and then it does that. I'm like, I can't believe this worked, where I shot in between two vehicles in an open window and got the guy on the other side of the house, and it's like, holy crap.
It's like the Tiger Woods game when you feel like you have a pretty good shot, and it does that, like, it does the slow-mo going back, and you slow-mo hit it, and you're like, all right, I know I got a good one there. Like, that was really good.
Yeah. So I've cleared the first island after doing my whole thing. The second area I went into, I kind of wanted to test more with, okay, how much can I actually take on before it overwhelms you? And like I said, I'm playing on hard mode right now. So the second island, I was like, all right, I'm going to do just a couple of shots to take some people out, not caring about sound masking or anything, just to kind of get people to come to me, kind of see how easy it is to lose people, how many of them I can take on with a Tommy gun or a pistol. And in the second map, I straight up massacred an entire island with just my Tommy gun.
Jeez.
So, and you still have to be smart about it, because this isn't like Gears of War or something like that, where you can just take on a hail of bullets and you hide, because you still have like bandages and medkits that you have to use if you get hit. You can't run indefinitely, because then that messes with your lung capacity. So you still have to be smart about it, but you can definitely hide behind a building, wait for a bunch of people to come around and just lay into all 5 of them, and then duck to a different, and it does like the whole MGS thing where it's like, hey, this is last known position, and there's like a hollow of you standing there. So if you run out past that, everyone will go to that spot, which means that you have basically a dead zone where you can turn around, wait for everyone to run to that location to check it out, take out whoever shows up, marks a new area where they think you're at, and just keep doing that as well.
Scampering.
So yeah, the AI is not entirely smart in this.
Yeah.
But it's still kind of fun, especially when you have them pinned where they have to come down an alleyway, and you've got 9 Nazis running at you, and you take 2 shots and you take them all out because they were just lined out perfectly. So it went from one person to the next and so on. A lot of X-rays in that one. So the last mission that I did with this one, you're in a forested area, and they've got basically like a train cannon that's shooting intermittently. And that's all fine and good. It was cool being able to sneak around in the forest and take guys out, because I did a lot of stealth takedowns, because that was the next thing I wanted to test out was, okay, how viable is it to just hide in bushes, wait for somebody to walk by, and just sneak up behind them and stab them.
Right.
It works very well. You can do some Assassin's Creed stuff where you're hanging over a ledge and someone walks by and you just reach over and throw them off the bridge.
Oh, yeah.
All right, cool. I ran into my first tank. It was a small tank in this map. And you have 3 ways you can take it out. One, you can plant a satchel charge on it, which I couldn't find. It's not... You can't just place the satchel charges anywhere. You have to look for the glowing indicator, and that's where you can put it, kind of thing. And you can do 2 types. You can either just put the charge there and then run away and turn around and shoot it and blow it up. Or you can put what looks like a flare on it, which is kind of like a timer. I don't know if he has a fuse on it and lights it or if he shoves a flare in it. But it gives you about 5-10 seconds to run away, and then it'll blow up. I could not find the point of being able to put a satchel on it, so I was like, okay, maybe I can't do it with this one. The problem is that this tank doesn't move around. It's always facing one direction, but the turret up top will keep spinning around. All right, so I worked my way over to the other side of the map so that I could see that there's like a little driver viewer port, and you can shoot through that. Cool. Take out the driver. Now the tank can't move. It's stuck there.
Right.
So I still couldn't... The turret was moving so much that I couldn't take out the gunner, so I kept getting closer and closer to it to try to figure out how I'm going to take this out. And that's when I realized it had a satchel charge on the front, like a placement for it. Run up there, set it, hide behind a house, wait for it to blow up. It happened to blow up when the cannon went off, so then I got a ton of extra XP for masking the sound of a vehicle blowing up.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I just got all kinds of crazy with it and hid under the bridge and shot everybody on that map. So it's pretty fun.
It sounds pretty good.
Fun.
It's
so dumb.
It's a lot of dumb fun. There's the last 2 maps, the forest one and the other smaller island one, when I was just testing out how much I could take on, I accidentally completed the main objective not knowing it was the main objective. Because it just kind of tells you, once you've completed the final objective, that's it, you're done with that map. And you can go back into it. It set up any map that you've completed, you can go back and restart new. But I didn't know that blowing up a door and walking through there would complete the objective where I meet up with resistance members. I just thought it was leading me towards like the radio area that I was supposed to blow up. No, so I didn't do any side objectives on that second island because I accidentally completed it too early. And same thing with the train one. I didn't know that blowing up the bridge that the train was on was going to end that level. So I set the set, and that was the weird thing too. You have to set the satchel charge in a crack on one of the pillars for the bridge, but you don't have direct line of sight on it when you do that. So you have to run all the way around the map so that you can kind of see it, and then you take a shot at it, and once you blow it up, that's the end. You watch the bridge blow up, you see the train fall into the ravine, everything's happy.
Right. Interesting.
But I'm really enjoying it. It speaks to me on some weird level.
Right.
And maybe it's concerning. I don't know. But I had a lot of fun just screwing around with it. Apparently, I forget what the next highest difficulty is. I think it's called Authentic or something like that. Apparently, that's the one that everyone says that you should really run this in, because easy is apparently stupid easy. Normal is still easy, and hard kind of feels like normal. But even then, I'm not finding anything difficult about it.
Right.
A shot to the head is still a one-shot kill. Depending on where you shoot in the torso, that's either a one-shot or a two-shot kill. So I'm finding it just doesn't seem terribly difficult, but apparently Authentic is where they add in, like, oh, you have to take into account wind and earth curvature, and, you know, depending on how far out you're going and stuff like that.
Interesting.
So I might try Authentic just to see how that does.
Yeah.
But it's been pretty fun just trying to get long distance shots off, because obviously you can't just put your cursor here and your bullet's going to go there. You still have plenty of drop. there's still plenty of other things that I have to factor in, like the muzzle velocity of the rifle that I'm currently using, that kind of stuff, to figure out if I can even hit that person that's way out there. So a lot of fun stuff to experiment with.
That's cool.
So surprisingly, Sniper Elite 4 is fun. I will also say, too, it is a good-looking game and the crappiest looking game at almost the same time. I don't know how they pulled that off.
Right.
But
Some
there
real
have been
PS2 business.
Yeah, there have been times where I've looked at something in this game, it's like, that looks really good, and then you see like everything behind that's all pixelated or it's all blurry and stuff. I'm like, that looks like hot garbage. So,
man,
it's a really odd game, but really fun. So that's all they've been playing this week.
Boy, okay. I have only played Monster Sanctuary this week, and I didn't really realize how pissed off I am about it until I started thinking about how I'm going to talk about it this week. So I think Monster Sanctuary, up until this point, has been a 10 out of 10 game. Like, all of it is super well done. It's really clicked with me. I really, really enjoy it. Up until you get to the end, and it does that normal JRPG thing, where you're like fighting a series of bosses again, but now they're harder because it's at the end of the game. So throughout the game, you're fighting all these guys. They're called alchemists. They're wearing masks. You don't know who they are. They're all color-coded, standard JRPG stuff. I've fought them, each one of them, at least once throughout the game. Some of them you fight a couple times. And up until this point, I wouldn't say that this game is easy, but I wouldn't say it's hard. It has been a fairly smooth difficulty curve the whole time, and I haven't really needed to grind. And if I was maybe a level or two under like a boss battle, most boss battles, instead of sending just 3 monsters in, you send 6 in, and anytime a monster gets knocked out, you replace it with someone in your back line. So you can't really revive monsters. You really just, here are the 6 people on my team, take all the enemies out with those 6 people. So there have been 1 or 2 fights where it's like, I'm down to my single last monster, and they can maybe take 1 more hit, and I finally defeated the last monster that I'm fighting. So far, so good. Up until I get to the very end part. I have fought a number of my friends this game at the most annoying time. You're talking about JRPG tropes here with Cold Steel 4. This does one of the most annoying JRPG tropes, which is, you've been my best friend during this entire game, and now I'm so much stronger. Before you fight the final boss, you need to fight me to prove myself. It's like, no.
Is it time to test your resolve yet?
100%. I was like, no, William, I have to go beat the final boss. Sit down.
Hold on, Blue. I don't think you're ready to face the Elite Four just yet.
That's exactly, and it's like, I'm literally trying to stop the destruction of our world. Sit down. Yes. Oh, yes, you're strong. Very good. Go away. Like, I got bigger things to deal with. So you like fight all 3 of your friends as you're going up this tower, and you're fighting sort of alternately. You're fighting the alchemists as well. And it's like, you have 1 fight here, you have a fight against 2 of them. It's all difficult because it's the end of the game, but none of it's impossible. Until I get to the Zosimos fight, which is like 2 or 3 bosses before the final boss. I spent this entire week at least 3 hours a day trying to figure out how to beat this boss. I think I'm only missing 1 or 2 monsters in the game up until this point. One of them is a really great reference in like a secret area that is just too strong. I can't beat them enough to get them. I can't do this fight. Like, up until this point, I've been changing because a lot of times you'll fight a boss and it'll be like, I'm going to bring in the team I'm using. Oh no, they're all weak to ice. Guess what the enemy's using? Okay, let's switch all them out for someone else, get a better team that's more suited to beating his enemy, go back in, maybe 1 or 2 more tries, and it works out. One of the things I do like about Monster Sanctuary that it does is when you fail on a fight, if it's a normal random enemy that you're running around in the world, it just puts you back to where you ran into them. So you lose pretty much nothing. If it's a boss fight, it just puts you in the room you just came from. Like, you didn't lose any time, you don't have to reload your save or anything. It just kicks you back 1 room, and you can go back in and fight that boss.
Interesting.
I have tried so many different teams with so many different combinations and so much stuff. The real tough part about this fight is, like, 3 out of the 6 monsters that this enemy uses have so much health regeneration that I can't do enough damage to beat the regen. And so many people's recommendation is like, oh, well, just get this team together. The only way to do it is to, like, super buff one team member so that they can one-shot an enemy to just get them off the field. And it's like, guys. So a lot of my week this week has been, like, watching YouTube videos and, like, trying out different strats, and, like, the part that's really disappointing is the developer, like the lead developer, is very active within the community, which normally would be a positive. But in this instance, the developer kind of has a bad attitude about their own game. So, like, people will come in, and this appears to be a hot button topic for a reason that I'll get to here in a minute. So a lot of people are like, hey, I've been having an okay time in this game up until this fight, but, like, boy, this fight is just nearly impossible. Like, what am I supposed to do? And a lot of times the developer will come in and be like, maybe you should try a different team. Like, yeah, thanks, appreciate it. What do you think I've been doing? Yeah, like, there's very much this, like, get good attitude where it's like, you can't rely on just one team throughout the entire game. It's like, well, thanks, I haven't. I'm not using the slime that I started with in the game, and, like, my starter monster. Like, I'm not doing that. And in the way that this always goes, the developer's attitude then emboldens the community. So this dismissive attitude, then, like, my first result I saw was someone being like, oh, it's too hard? Is this baby's first monster catching game? Maybe you should go back to Pokemon where you can't really fail, you big diaper baby, you big poopy baby. It's just like, dude, like, there's so many of us that are having fights. Like, the rest of the game has been difficult, but not impossible. I wasted a week on one boss fight. Like, I can't, there's no way for me to beat this boss. Thankfully, they're talking about putting out a patch in February that introduces a casual mode for a certain demographic of player that is finding the game too difficult, which all sorts of middle fingers for that attitude. Which then, of course, all the comments are like, please don't add casual. Don't make the game easier. Like, it's so good because it's hard, and it just gets stuffed. Whatever. And Moon, you and I have rallied against a certain thing in We Roguelike It for a good long time, which is a game that's in early access that comes out of early access way too difficult. Yes, guess what happened with Monster Sanctuary? This was the last area added when the game went to 1.0.
Yep, 1000% explains it. So, for people who listen to this who don't listen to We Roguelike It, number one, listen to that show. But basically, the longer, especially roguelikes and things like that, the longer a game spends in early access, the better the dedicated fan base get at the game. So they break it more and more and more and more. And the feedback the devs get constantly is the game is too easy.
Harder.
The game is too easy.
Yep.
So the dev makes it harder and harder and harder to the point where then the game gets released, and regular folk who haven't been playing the game since day one of early access literally cannot get to the boss
Right.
or beat the game at all.
So like most of the it was in early access for a while, so most of the guides that are out there are wrong because so much stuff has changed, which is fine. But so many of these other ones are like, there are these champion fights where they're like extra hard enemy, like optional enemies that you can go and beat, and you can re-challenge them like in your home base. If you get a 5-star on there, you get their egg, so you can recruit them to your team. Getting a 5-star is pretty difficult. Your normal like first time finish is going to be a 2-star. You're just making it through. So a lot of people are like, oh, well, it's super easy. Get a team of 6 super rare, super powerful monsters that you just need a 5-star. Get all of this incredibly rare, fully powered up gear with this perfect skill tree, and then do this incredibly esoteric build where you create this like perfect turn order like you're playing an MMO, and then you just one-shot the boss fight. And it's like, what the hell? Like, Winemaker Joe in chat says, oh my god, I'm a dad, I don't have 1,000 hours to play. Yes.
Well, that's the thing, like the builds and the min-maxing that you have to do that no one tells you is that's 70 hours tacked onto, 100%. What you're trying to achieve.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, it's super easy. Like, you should already have this stuff going. It's like, no, I've been playing like 20 hours. Like, I didn't put 20 hours in this week because it's the only game I'm playing. Like, I have other things going on. Like, Winemaker Joe in chat says, also, why is it having easy, medium, hard not a normal thing for games? Here's the thing that I got pissed off about again this week. This attitude, this like horribly toxic attitude from these developers saying like, well, if you're too much of a baby for normal, I guess we'll put in casual, whatever, if you just want to. It's like, you should have a mode where like, just, if you can even call it story mode, whatever, because the story in this game is fairly solid. Make it so my monsters do double damage and the enemy monsters do half damage. Like, just let me walk through your game. Who cares? Because at this point, I'm not necessarily, number one, I'm not finishing this game until this patch comes out, if I ever go back to it. And number two, I can't recommend this game to anyone anymore, because it's like, yeah, man, 99% of this game, really great, up until this entire BS brick wall you run into, where you cannot finish the game, because you weren't playing it for the last year in early access.
Yeah.
And the developer's like, oh, well, if the game's too hard, I guess we'll put casual mode. It's like, no, I just want to finish it. I want to, like, you should have the most. This is the problem I run into every time this comes up. You as a developer should have the goal of the most people possible playing your game. Because what you're telling me is, I don't want everyone playing my game. And I don't understand why not. I just don't get it.
Don't get me wrong. If you're a developer and you're making one of these games and you want to make it absolutely balls to the wall hard,
sure,
you don't want to put any of those options in, that's fine. When it sells 10,000 units and that's it, you don't get to complain.
Right.
Yeah.
But this is like a one developer passion project. Like, why don't you want literally everybody to play your game? Like, look at Eichenfeld. Eichenfeld has some incredibly hard battles in there, and one of the best options in that game is just the victory button. Boop, I won that battle. Great. Now I can continue experiencing the really great story, and now I can finish this game. And like, I'm not even asking for that in Monster Sanctuary. I'm just asking for the same difficulty curve that has existed throughout this game to continue, instead of just shooting up at a 90-degree angle.
Well, that's a lot of the issues with some of these games too, is that you run into that where an area before a boss or whatever, you're just walking through it. No problem whatsoever. Don't even have to think about it. And then you hit this one enemy who's not a special enemy, who's not an optional enemy. It's just a regular story boss. And all of a sudden you can't beat them with either the methods that you were previously using, or all of a sudden you're 20 levels lower than what you need to be. And there's no good way for you to build up your team to what it needs to be to take on that boss. So that's a balancing issue, not a get good issue.
Right, yeah. And like I've tried so many teams. Like I even built a really, really strong team that's centered around debuffs, because debuffs in this game are crazy strong. So I have a team that, like, every time you attack, with every attack, you have a chance to do like poison or freeze or shock or burn or any of these attacks or any of these debuffs that turn them into damage over time, and they can stack up to like 3 or 4 times. So like a turn will end and I'm just chunking like 25% off of their health with every debuff that's ticking down. That team, I'm 5-starring champions, like those super hard bosses, like in 2 turns. I can't beat this boss with that team because they're healing too fast. And it's just like, at that point, you're just breaking your own game. And it's just, I'm so pissed off about it because I loved this game up until this point. And between a difficulty curve, which is fine because this stuff happens, like difficulty spikes happen and you can smooth them out. But the real frustration is the attitude of the developer being like, oh, well, I'll just add a baby mode in there for you babies. It's just like, oh, come on, man. Like, I just don't play Monster Sanctuary. That's the part that's really pissing me off, is this is an incredible game that does so much right by mushing together so many great genres that I like, that I can't recommend it anymore. And that's the worst part.
That sucks.
Grumble, grumble, grumble. Unfortunately, that's all I played this week, so let's take a break.
Wow.
So angry.
I remember what I was going to say in the pre-show. I was going to say Scarlet Witch is also in the new Doctor Strange movie.
Oh, yep. Cool. I didn't know that. I keep forgetting they're putting out another one. And then every time I hear about it, I was like, hell yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Doctor Strange and the Adventures in the Multiverse or something like that it's called. So
yeah, something like that. Yeah, that's the stuff.
That should be insane.
Yeah. All right, it's pretty late. Are you guys ready to knock the rest of this out?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's talk releases for the week of January 25th, 2021. Atelier Ryza 2, Lost Legends, and the Secret Fairy comes out PC, Switch, PS4, and PS5. I feel like if you didn't play the first one, then this is gibberish. And if you did play the first one, it's probably still gibberish.
Super exciting, though.
Yeah.
You should play the first one.
I need to go back and finish the first one. I think it got a PS5 update, which I think makes it run at 60 frames, which is even better.
Yeah.
I was really enjoying that first one, and I fell off of it for some reason.
You want to talk about difficulty spikes at the end of a game?
No.
That one's got one. Yeah.
Well, never mind.
No, that one's easier to overcome, though, because you can go back. It's usually what I had found out with my team was that I just didn't have all of my equipment upgraded to where it needed to be.
Oh, sure.
So, because like I was able to basically get through everything else, and then I get to the final boss, and that was like the final test of, oh no, I'm hitting for 12 damage, not 100. This is gonna suck.
Like you hadn't done all the maintenance, like the upkeep until that point.
But that wasn't. I think I went back for like 2 hours and upgraded everybody's stuff, and I had most of the components I needed. So it was just a real quick fix. So.
Yeah. Next game coming out, Cyber Shadow for PC, Switch, PS4, PS5, and Xbox One. This is published by Yacht Club Games. This is kind of a cool-looking modern take on the classic Ninja Gaiden games, like a 16-bit side-scrolling kind of slashy thing. I'm curious to see how this reviews, because I think this could be kind of a neat thing. The Medium comes out on PC and Series X. I don't believe it's coming out on Xbox One. Because I think they said, like, hey, we got it to run on Series X, and it works the way we wanted it to, so yay, SSDs.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a Series X exclusive.
Yeah. Also, I just want to say Team Bloober, because that's just, I just, like, saying that. This is the one where you're going between like the real world and like that horror nightmare world, right? You're like flipping between the two.
Yep, and this is also what Musin was talking about. It might have been during the game club. You mentioned it earlier with the auto win. He said he would love to play. Yes, he said he'd love to play a game where you can just switch between worlds. And as soon as he said that, this is the game I was thinking of.
Yeah, this looks cool. I think I'm impressed they got this to work, and I think it's a really cool idea that I hope it turns out well. This seems neat.
Every game they've made has got better and better and better.
Yeah, what have they made?
Layers of Fear, Observer, and then Blair Witch.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, those are some good games.
It's an upwards trajectory that is pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. And lastly here, the Yakuza Remastered Collection comes out on PC and Xbox One. This is a Game Pass joint, if I remember correctly. So now all 8 games are on Xbox. So go get them.
I guess I cancel all my vacation plans. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, get cracking on like 600 hours versus of JRPG. Let's go. Oh, those games are so good. All right, let's move on to news stories. Peter Moore Watch Update 2021 coming in hot. Peter Moore back in the video game industry after done being the CEO of the Liverpool football. What's the last club? Thank you. I didn't want to be like the association, and would be like, go to hell. He is joining Unity as their SVP and GM of its sports and live entertainment team. This was the best Twitter announcement I've seen in a good long time, where he took to Twitter saying like, hey, this isn't the most important news story of the day, but I joined Unity. Exciting things in the future. And I was just like, okay. Keep classy, sure. Peter Moore.
Why not?
And that ends our Peter Moore Watch Update. Puzzle Quest 3 was announced. They put out a trailer that had no gameplay for some, like, to be fair, it's going to be a match 3 game, so you kind of don't need it, but also that's weird. Anyway, Puzzle Quest 3 is coming out. It seems like it'll be free to play on all platforms at launch, not just the mobile version. Which, in a world where Genshin Impact isn't scummy about stuff, I feel a little less concerned. But match 3 games are like the scummiest of scum on mobile. So
in a world where Genshin Impact exists, but then also in a world where like,
exists.
The cookie clicker, whatever the stupid match 3 that Blizzard owns with the cakes and stuff.
Oh,
Candy Crush. There we go.
Candy Crush, yeah. Yeah, who owns Candy Crush now?
Blizzard does. They bought King. And
it did. Previously King.com, now just King.
Yeah. And also in a world where, FIFA Ultimate Team exists.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like you can take the good of like Destiny 2 and Genshin Impact are free to play. But match 3 games being free to play are usually really bad. Where it's like, oh man, first 40 levels, you did so good. Oh man, you're the best at match 3. Level 41, go to hell if you're not spending money. It's just like, wait, what? Wait a minute.
Wasn't Candy Crush the one where someone had figured out that once you got to a certain spot, you had to spend money?
Yeah, it's like virtually impossible.
It has one specific level that is an impossible puzzle unless you buy a 110 if you get it perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, so I like Puzzle Quest a lot. I'm hoping that it doesn't fall into those traps, but we will see. I think it's slated to come out later this year. It's definitely one of those ones where I'm going to give it a shot, but especially with it being free, but like, just please don't be scummy. Just please don't be bad.
No, instead please, whatever you do, please be a 7,000 hours to get all the achievements in a game, because I won't care, but I know a certain friend of the show, Maki, will care. Yeah. He will start that game, and then he will have to get every achievement on it because he did it for the other ones.
Oh boy, that's a lot That's a lot of puzzling. Boy.
Uh-huh.
Last news story here: Vicarious Visions is being merged into Activision Blizzard. This studio was already owned by Activision Blizzard, but apparently they did too well in 2020 with the Crash Bandicoot trilogy and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. Sorry, 1 plus 2. I'll use its given name. So Activision Blizzard said, hey, God, you guys killed it in 2020. Like, handshakes all around, bonuses, great job. By the way, we're shutting your studio down. You're going to get absorbed in Activision Blizzard, and now you're a support team for all the rest of our products. Thanks. Okay, bye. That sucks. I try not to be the bearer of bad news in this on news stories because gestures at the world. But like, they did some really great stuff. They made some of Destiny 2's best content before that split happened. And those two remakes they made this last year, and now they're, quote, fully dedicated to existing Blizzard games and initiatives, end quote. So, like, you get a team that did some incredible remakes, and you're having to make, like, Hearthstone stuff or Heroes of the Storm.
They're going to go fix the remake of Warcraft.
Well, word is on the street this week that because of Warcraft 3, original Blizzard North just got shut down. Which,
jeez,
you know, not a big deal shutting down your most famous and founding studio. The rumor is that they're going to be tasked to work on the Diablo 2 remake, which, sure, I mean, I don't think I'm in love with the idea of a Diablo 2 remake as much as a lot of other people are. One, because Diablo 3 is still really good, and two, Warcraft 3 remake was really not good, so not feeling super positive about that. Two back-to-back news stories here where it's a lot of like, please be good.
Spoiler alert, there's been a lot of like old guard leaving Blizzard recently.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Yeah, I just the best thing though is I feel like so many of them will go out and make a studio with a successful Kickstarter that will put out a game like In Exile. Like they've just been killing it with one classic game after another. Like there's a hungry market for a lot of the games that these studios used to make. Mostly from people our age. They're like, the good old days, but you don't have to play the old games.
Well, and then they'll just be bought by EA again, brought into the
100%.
fold, shuttered, and then they'll leave again. So,
Yep. All right, let's move on to questions this week. Jimbo Jangle sends us an email. Hey, TVGP crew, Jimbo Jangles here. I know we're already a few weeks into 2021, but I thought I'd ask if you have any New Year's gaming resolutions. Mine is to play more games and go after less achievements, especially the grindy ones, unless it's a game I absolutely love, like maybe a Halo Infinite or Tunic. Tunic. Come out soon, please. Also belated and wishful 2021 prediction, Hades comes to Game Pass in spring. Any 2021 gaming resolutions? Thanks, Jimbo.
Don't force myself to play as much as I used to.
Like if you're not enjoying something, like just kick it to curb.
That, and also like pushing myself too far. Like we talked about it last week. Like I have the weird thing in my head where it's like, no, I need to play X, Y, and Z new games or things to talk about on the show. Yes, and I'm forcing myself to try and not be that way.
Yeah. Yeah. What would be my gaming resolutions? I feel like I need, and I've been really trying to push these last couple weeks to do it. I need to spend more time with my Xbox. Not only because of Game Pass, but just because of stuff that only exists on that platform that I haven't been playing. I need to. Both of these new consoles were very expensive. I should spend more time with both, at the very least.
Well, Let me tell you about this classic game called Crimson Dragon.
Sign me up.
But I would gladly play that with co-op with anybody, by the way. Like, I actually like that game a lot.
But I have a lot of stuff like, there's that new Gears 5 expansion, there's Gears Tactics, there's Call of the Sea, there's, like, the Tetris Effect Connected I can play co-op with my wife. Like, there's so much stuff out on that platform that is only on that platform that I could be spending a lot of time with really great games, as opposed to grinding for nothing in Monster Sanctuary, grumble, grumble, as opposed to kind of continuing to play the same thing over and over on the PS5. So try and diversify my portfolio a little bit more in 2021.
There you go.
Yeah.
I don't have any resolutions.
I
go with the wind. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I always find if I try to force myself into a thing, like if I'm like, oh, I'll just play less JRPGs this year, and then, oh, whoops, there's like 6 of them that I want to play this year.
Yeah, it's the one year where like all of them come out, and it's like, well, crap. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I feel like I have a good smattering of genres that I play that I'm sort of keeping a finger on. I could probably spend more time playing sports games, but that would really just mean whatever golf club game is coming out, and those games are really hard in a way that I'm not sure I want to dedicate the time to. Maybe if another Everybody's Golf comes out, I'd pick that up, where it's like, all right, this is kind of a semi-casual thing to start with, and then gets pretty difficult on the tail end. But golf club just starts out so hard. I'm not that good. I'm bad at golf in real life. Like, don't make me bad at virtual golf. It hurts my feelings. Man. All right, good question, Jimbo. Thank you very much for writing in. If you'd like to visit us, you can do so at tvgp.tv. Everyone follow us on the right-hand side of the page. I have lost the capacity to speak. Patreon.com/E1M1, the ones are numbers. As we talked about at the top of the episode, all the early access, behind the scenes, exclusive, uncensored audio. Outcast we had like a 50 minute Outcast last week, so that was almost as long as the episode itself. So you want double the episode, go check out patreon.com/E1M1. Don't forget about the $250 goal to get me to play some pants-wettingly scary games on there. Maybe, who knows, maybe there's some hot games from Bloober I could check out, just to say Bloober again. Current Game Club game is Late Shift. I played my first playthrough of that last night. It was 45 minutes, so literally incredibly short of a game. So go check that out. That is Late Shift by Wales Interactive. Not Whale the animal, Wales the location.
Wales country.
Yeah. I'm going to start a competing studio, Wales Interactive, that has the animal, the H in it. We will also make FMV
doesn't already
games.
have that.
Yeah, no, we will also make FMV games just to really make it confusing. This week, for patrons, we wrap up our Enter the Gungeon coverage, and we talk about our next game, so check that out. And go listen to Critical Misses, because it's really great. We're having a blast. Season 3 just started airing on the public feed for the John Wick trilogy. Jonathan X. Wick, Mr. Wick himself, the Baba Yaga.
Sorry, I'm laughing because I googled Wales Interactive, the animal of the country. PBS Learning Media has a Wales Interactive lesson.
Great, I'm gonna go check that out. My kid loves whales, so whales and dinosaurs. That's what she's way into. I mean, who isn't? I think that's
cutest eyelashes.
Yeah. All right, I think that's it for us this week. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening, and we'll see you all next week. Bye.
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 This might be Flash.
All right, hit me with... What?
It might be Flash.
It might... hit me with your titles, Nimp.
All right, I have a diaper baby.
I guess
Feels
I guess I have to write that down.
feels good to smile. Trashopedia is fun. Nothing compares to Elite. I'm 5-starring champions, and time to test your resolve.
All right, Moon, what do you have?
A child to rear. Cactus designed for children. Nothing beats Elite. And PlayStation Gold.
I guess I could write down nothing beats Elite. Elite. All right, I have I'm a champagne problem. Forgot about the little ones. A cactus designed for children. You just see ... violence. A diaper baby, feels good to smile, and nothing beats Elite. The two we shared were cactus designed for children and nothing beats Elite. Nothing beats Elite seems like the obvious choice here.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm biased, so...
Yeah, I mean...
We both thought
use that bias to your advantage, man. All right, I'm going to circle it. Let me know when you guys are ready.
Ready.
Oh, boy.
The possibilities are endless.
Yeah. I'm good.
All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 692 for January 25th, 2021. Nothing beats Elite.
Don't trust the auto dock.
I'm just joysticking through the galaxy.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening and watching. Apologies if this episode sounds a little weird. About halfway through, I noticed that my audio is recording, let's say, here, and then my cursor is about 5 seconds before that. So,
yep.
Hopefully that's not bad. Yeah. All right. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.